the record, I'm not the one who started the show today.
I was the one that messed it up.
So hold on, that's the first time I've been on a show with the intro. I love that, guys.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, welcome to my weekly meltdown. I'm Allison, and with me as always is Tyler. Tonight, the challenge, episode 6, Double Agents. We have with us Andrew Gibson, not only a patron, but a good friend, supporter, great guy. We love him to death. I love the Tron shirt. I'm living for the mic.
It's not Tron, it's Iron Man.
Iron Man, well, shit. Look, it looked like it said Tron, but Iron Man's okay too. How is everyone doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. Today's been a very good day, all things considering in the world. But what better way to wrap up the day than to talk the challenge with Allison and Andrew? So I'm 2 thumbs up. I'm happy to be here. How are you, Andrew?
How are you, Andrew?
I had a day off today, so I ran a bunch of errands and didn't actually do it. I do more on my day off than the days that I work, right? Like, I feel like that's the days that I'm running all my errands and doing that, and then got to come home and sipping on some tea after watching the challenge and talking to 2 of my favorite people. So it's a great day.
I'm so glad, so happy to hear that. Hello to Matt Henning in the chat. If you're
Allison's here. When I said 2 favorite people, I thought it was Beth and Tyler.
Oh, I had that coming for something, I'm sure. Matt in the chat, if you say anything inappropriate or bad, he's going to police your ass. John P. Yes. P. Music, Connor Murphy, Dizon McClellan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Well, I've had a day. Finley pissed on all the cat toys again. I swear, this cat does not want to share the cat toys, and I'm done washing them. I washed them again, and I put them in a shoebox, and I said, no, we're not doing this. I'm over it.
It's funny. Bria pissed all her toys today, too.
I know. It's infant. Let me tell you something. Having 4 cats is very similar to having 4 toddlers. I'm cleaning up puke in the morning. They're all following me around and won't leave me alone. And then they nap most of the day. Okay. And then they rally right before I go on the show to do something. They want to eat again. Damn it. And of course, Phoebe, the fattest one, acts like she's starving to death. I'm like, you out eat everybody. And then I got in trouble because I got accused of fat shaming my cat this week because I posted a picture of her next to Jabba the Hutt. Just whatever, y'all. Fat shaming a cat. Find something else to do with your life. It's enough that I'm memeing my cat with Jabba the Hutt.
Allison, okay? How does it feel to be canceled?
I'm canceled because I fat shamed a cat.
Yeah, exactly.
Gladly. I welcome it. If that gets me canceled, I'm on board.
There you go.
Anyway, I don't know if you noticed my attire tonight. I'm wearing a black shirt with a necklace.
Mine too.
Like they've been doing on the show. I'm sorry, Andrew, I didn't give you the memo. We were all going to.
I didn't get that memo.
That's okay. But we like the Iron Man shirt. What an episode.
I just took a shower and got in comfy clothes. I have my Keep It Spicy pajama pants on too. So we're doing good. We're ready to go.
Somehow I want to go eat Chili's now.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Let's get hot. Let's get in it. Let's get the chili pepper called The Challenge, Double Agents, episode 6.
It was a great episode.
Teresa's got balls. I'm always talking about balls. I talk about balls so much now. It's in my Facebook algorithm. I get stuff for rubbing your balls, cleaning your balls, a gift set for his set, ballsy. Jeez, it's everywhere.
Teresa has some balls, but let's not confuse that with Big T, who had trouble with the pipe.
Listen, yes. I'm loving the awkward canister. You guys are capsule. You're going to carry an awkward capsule. The only thing awkward about watching these people with the capsule was the height difference. You had 7'8" CT with 4'11" little T. Big little T is what I call her. And it just looked crazy. I would have been running under the damn thing. There's no way I could have held that up with a big partner.
It's almost like the teams that seemed to do well in this challenge were ones that were at the same height level. It wasn't like we saw Lolo and Nam really gas out and not have a good communication. Anissa and Fessy were dead last, so Fessy was right about Anissa holding him back endurance wise. But I was very surprised to see Teresa and Jay pull out the win here. Very impressive.
I felt like it was kind of set up because at the beginning of the episode, Teresa has made it. She's kind of siding with the rookies. She knew what was going to happen to Anissa, her number one. Let it happen. Lolo gets her little, virgin self all in a twist and confronts Teresa about it and says she's playing both sides. And she is.
Yeah.
Is that incorrect?
No, not at all. But like I always feel like Teresa gets herself in these like bad like personal fights with people on the challenge, and I was happy to see Nany and Teresa back together finally on the season, because they had a big falling out way back when in Free Agents. And that's the last I heard from them in terms of like friendship. So it was interesting to see that like Nany like warned everybody about Teresa and was like, we have to get her out.
Can we talk about Lolo's perception of yelling for a minute? Andrew, what is your take? If I'm talking to you like this, would you think this is yelling?
Are you my wife or are you not my wife?
I'm not your wife.
Okay, then no.
Okay. Is something going on with the hearing? I don't know.
If you were my wife, I would be running.
My husband runs all the time. He volunteers to work out of town. Okay.
But that's not because of you. That's because of the cats.
It's Finland's fault. Fuck him. Anyway, so yeah, that's going on. I just thought that was kind of crazy that she was like, you're yelling. It's like nobody raised their voice. Not even Josh cried tonight.
Right. And Teresa like really she recognized that Lolo is just like, once she gets mad, she's just like out of control, right? So like Teresa even like put on the tears. She was like, Lolo, I'm trying to talk calmly to you, just like how I do with Allison all the time when I'm trying to like talk her off the ledge. But it was smart that like Teresa like recognized like I'm trying to change how I'm talking to her to like calm her down. Lolo's just like on a different planet.
The thing with Lolo, and I mean we saw this in Big Brother, right? Like, there's no middle. You either have Lolo here or you have Lolo here. And there's no middle ground in Lolo. She goes from 0 to 10 just like that. I mean, John, that's kind of where I'm referencing there. She goes like this from 0 to 10. There's no middle ground. And I like Lolo like overall, and I feel like if she could find that middle ground, she would be decent. But it's not there. And you saw that even in screw the Teresa conversation. You see that later with her and Nam, right? Like there's just no middle there.
Yeah.
Why do you want to? Okay, we'll get to that because there's some things going on with her. I don't know. Another thing that happened next in the episode is they were all sitting around eating breakfast, and Leo said he was being triggered a little bit. He, I guess, grew up in foster home, and he's used to waking up with strangers and everything, and it's triggering him, and it's too much. And he ended up leaving the show because he thought it was better for his mental health and everything. And surprisingly, TJ, didn't give him any shit. But I think because of the mental health issue, and Andrew, you had a little tea on this as well.
Yeah, and so I want to start with that. Yes, you're right. Absolutely. TJ didn't give a lot. But we do have to remember also that I mean, you were joking earlier, Tyler, about the being canceled and things like that. This is the culture that we live in too. So TJ has to walk this line of mental health with a very fine grain, right? Like a lot of the times when TJ's saying, come on, why do you quit? Come on, why do you quit? We're talking about Jenna bitching about Tyler, or Zach, and wanting to go home. You're seeing these kind of things. He has to walk this really fine line. So just talking about the game in general, TJ's got to be, and MTV's got to be really careful because of the culture that we live in, not to dog him for mental illness. Yeah. But yeah, I do. My best friend is a WWE fanatic, and he has a podcast called In This Very Ring on Saturday nights on A2D, if you're ever interested in WWE. And he actually interviewed Leo way long ago, right after COVID hit. And so some things I do know about Leo, and the rumor that I heard, and I didn't hear this from Leo, but these are some things that I've read in others, is he did quit because he's fought alcohol and being an alcoholic in the past. And one of the main triggers that he was seeing was, I mean, in this show, they're surrounded by alcohol, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was very triggering and tempting to him. But two, for those of you that follow WWE, he was just released from his WWE contract because of COVID. He had a little bit of a music career that I don't think is really launched very well. So I do know that Leo is struggling with a lot of things. With that being said, my issue with it is these triggers, and this is my problem with the challenge right now, right? It's almost getting into Big Brother as far as recruiting instead of looking for the same people they've done. And now they're getting into all these random shows, WWE, and we're getting into this recruiting. If Leo would have just watched 2 or 3 seasons of the challenge, right, he would know what he was getting into. But I'm kind of getting this impression that Leo didn't really know what he was getting into, and that's bringing these triggers up. So even though we're still looking in this reality TV fashion, I'm seeing this more recruiting aspect coming in with Lolo, with these kind of people where it's not true players and lovers of the game. And that's been my favorite part about the challenge in the past is you have people that play this game for 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, and they love the game. They know the game. And with this new random people coming in, you're seeing a little bit more of, to me, the same recruitment feel that you get from a BB season.
Yeah. Go ahead, Alex.
I'm sorry. I will say this. I've been full-blown sober for 3 years and 2 months and 2 days.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I watched the challenge, and you think you can handle things sometimes, and you're like, man, I'm good, I'm this. And then you get in a situation where, okay, well, maybe I'm not comfortable yet being thrown into a situation like this, smelling it, seeing it, people acting maybe the way I used to act. And it does become too much. So you never know how far someone is in their recovery, and you touched your boundaries in recovery. You're always testing your boundaries. I had to reset my sober clock on November 18th, 2017, because I went to a wedding and I thought I could handle some champagne and I could not. So a sip is a sip and you reset your clock. So I kind of can feel his frustration because sometimes you're so far along in your recovery, you think you can handle things, and then you get there and it's like, you know what? This is too much for me.
I'm just impressed.
Totally.
I'm impressed that you made it through Big Brother All-Stars without a sip of alcohol. That's what's impressive for me.
Let me tell you something. I sniffed a lot of glue and Sharpies.
Sorry, Taylor, I had to add that.
No, it's fine. I had to smoke a lot of the devil's lettuce to get through Big Brother 22. No, Andrew, that's really good perspective because when I was watching the show, I was like, man, TJ's being so soft on him. Like considering I remember when Trishelle quit and left Sarah without a partner, he gave her so much shit and rightfully so, right? But that's the TJ that I'm used to, really dogging on the quitters. But I think you bring up a really good point about him never being on the challenge. But I want to take it a step further. He's never been on a reality show, right? He's one of the few that's recruited from a professional sport environment, WWE, and we also have to think production is really encouraging drinking for everybody, right? This is how they get the good TV and that little igloo thing, and
a fake bar party going on,
right? But production probably pushing him to drink is something that he in particular probably didn't understand because he's never been a part of a reality show before. Or Andrew, you're giving me a look that's not true.
I'm searching it. I thought he was on Tough Enough, which was the WWE's reality show that they did for a little bit, but it looks like he was not.
Yeah, so he has no idea, he has no experience with a reality TV production crew. That's enough to make anybody drink.
Maybe they put TJ through sensitivity training, and are we sitting here really going to say WWE isn't a reality show? Are we going to have that? I need to watch it. Oh, that's it. I'm covering an episode of WWE. It's going to happen.
Hey, I could bring a guy on that would help with that episode.
Let's do it. Let's do it right now.
I have the theory that UFC is the most homosexual show on television.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go. Who have you just pissed off, Tyler?
I mean, just look at it. That's anyway. But
I'm not touching this one with a 10-foot pole.
So anyway, Devin and Gabby are now partners. Next.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? You're the Devin stan of the group. How do you feel about him being with Gabby now?
They're the best looking duo.
What?
They're now the best looking duo, according to Devin.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I agree.
I think Devin's cute, though, but that's just me.
Here's what I hate.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
I hate that we lost a men's elimination. And that's why I think I'm so bitter about this whole recruitment versus casting thing, is because an elimination like that, where it's not like Big Brother, or Survivor, when one person quits, you reset the round and you start over. You're skipping an entire male elimination now. And that really messes up the flow of the game. Now you're doing 2 females back to back. The females are not getting as much rest as they might have necessarily gotten if you skip this specific situation. Now you're putting the guys straight onto it. You were thinking, it's not that I'm upset Leo quit. I'm upset that you literally changed the game. Now, it's genius that Ashley uses that later on.
Yes.
Yeah.
She fought for her life in that deliberation.
Very impressive.
Very impressive that she turns around and says, we don't know if it's going to be women, right? And for me, look, if I'm CT or somebody like that, that's triggering that first round where they did that. So that's different in that we don't know it's going to be a men's, but I hate that you flipped the men's that. I'm glad it got played as a little bit of a gameplay from Ashley. That kind of didn't make it so there, but it's not that I'm upset that Devin and them are partners, but you just screwed me on a men's elimination. And those eliminations, when not only are you screwing a men's elimination, you're screwing a men's opportunity to get a gold skull.
Yeah.
Honestly, that should have been Jay's opportunity to win his gold skull that he lost because of Leo quitting.
Yeah. And I also liked her pitch that the guys need strong girls in the final. You're weeding out all of the strong girls.
I love Ashley.
And if I'm Darrell, if I'm CT, I'm that's actually pretty correct, right? There have been so many instances where a bad partner in the final has literally costed you hundreds of thousands of dollars. And Darrell and CT have been around long enough to know that to be true, right? So I thought it was very good.
Well, this mission, it's called Smuggling Run, where they carry an awkward capsule 5 miles. They have a checkpoint with a puzzle. They got to add up 38. Listen, I wouldn't even, I'd be like, someone put me in the capsule and carry it. And plus, I can't count. So, and I'm in accounting. So Corey and Ashley, they blow the lead. Anissa and Fessy are last. Shocker. And Teresa and Jay win. And Lolo bitches at Nam the whole time and then proceeds to ask him to jog over the finish line because she wants to finish big. Honey, stop it. This isn't the frickin' Olympics. This is the challenge. Okay, it's bare minimum at that point. If I see somebody cross the finish line, fuck yeah, I'm crawling. I'm gonna ride that capsule. Whoever's carrying the house is riding it. Let's just go. Or you're dragging me, holding on to it. Whatever you want.
But I think it's funny that we see earlier in this, Matt made a comment. I don't remember where it was exactly, but he said that Anissa didn't want to win this competition. And I think I didn't hear her say she didn't want to win it. I heard her say to Fessy, it doesn't really matter, right?
Right.
But what are y'all's thoughts on that? Anissa not wanting to win this competition, because I have 2 issues with that, but I want to hear kind of what y'all's thoughts are on that.
When you're in a couple or a team, both of them have skulls. Fessy has a skull and Anissa has a skull. So I guess the thinking is it really doesn't matter if I win, I already have a skull. I don't think they're going to put me back in. I don't know. I didn't hear that part. I was probably too busy spanking Finley with the fly swatter.
I think Anissa recognizes, right, that her and Fessy are way too big of targets. It really doesn't help them strategically to keep getting power, keep making these decisions, keep being the axe for somebody in this game that's going to piss off somebody else, right? So I think it's fine to minimize your target level for now.
And I don't disagree with what you're saying. From a strategic standpoint, that's huge. But for me, in a game like this, managing your partner as much as managing the game is so important. And the fact that Anissa just stole Fessy back, to me, she's got something to prove, not to the other competitors, but to Fessy. If she truly wants to ride Fessy all the way to the final and not have Fessy ditch her again and move on or something of that nature, then Anissa has to prove that. And then you've got Fessy pushing her, and she's just Anissa, run. No. Anissa, jog. No. And so, like, what are you proving? If you truly want to run this with Fessy all the way, yes, I agree, Tyler. They didn't need to win, but I think she should have pushed themselves to the middle of the pack. She should have pushed themselves somewhere there. Plus, just because she's got the gold skull, she's not safe. And she's really showing her weakness for somebody else that might want to get a gold skull soon.
She didn't want the P3 vibrator. Okay. I mean, did you see that thing? I want one.
I mean, once I get my gold skull, I'm just kicking back. You know what I mean? Like, I've already proven myself in this game. Like, why do I need to run a little bit harder, push a little bit harder when like you've already got your seat in the final, right?
Because I don't play to make the final, I play to win the final.
I mean, I'm not loyal to my partner, like, especially considering like how much they switch all the time. So like, I don't really think that like there's any honor to like pushing harder for your partner's sake. I don't know. That's just me being my own selfish person in a game like this, though.
Let me ask you something, Andrew. How tall are you?
6'1".
Okay, I'm 4'11".
Okay.
98 pounds. You and I are running this with the awkward capsule.
Let's do it.
So if we were last and what would your motivation be? And I'm really trying.
I'm putting the capsule up like this. I'm putting you on my back and we're going.
Oh,
we're just going to go. I'm just going to ride you like Yoda. I'm going to ride you like Yoda, right?
And we're going to the end. I mean, we're not going for the middle of the pack then, Allison. You're coming on bear hug on the top, going all the way to the finals. We're going to pass them all.
It's either that or I'm just going to bear hug your right leg and just go. Just go.
I mean, I think the strategy, if there's like a big height difference, right? Put the shorter person in front and be like the support they need from the back, like holding it up.
The only problem with that is that would work through the puzzle. That would not work for the first leg because you're putting all that weight on the front person.
Right.
If you're coming back like this, the weight's going to be up front. So I don't know how heavy those puzzle pieces were, right? But I mean, those were in the capsule for the first 2/3 of the run. I do want to talk about this challenge. I like how they all called it a mini final.
It did look like a mini final. It really did. And they're in that cold water. Oh, hell no.
Very early for a mini final.
But to me, yeah, it was a mini final, but not really. The finals have that was just straight endurance to me.
Yeah.
And I liked it. I like to see that kind of endurance more than hanging from a bar.
But here's the thing.
Or flying a drone.
I could listen, that drone thing. Andrew, let's go back. What would you think about that drone? It's a product placement at its best.
Well, they didn't give a vibrator out, so it wasn't a very good product placement.
$3,000 in a vibrator? I'm riding you to the end, Andrew. And then you double it to $6,000. Allison's gonna have a good night.
Man, I thought they were going to get back and just have like a lifetime subscription of P3 protein packs. Like, I'd rather that than that vibrator, right? Like, those things are great.
I'm on the bed rolling around in my money with my P3 vibrator like I'm in that Demi Moore movie.
But I mean, the drone challenge, I mean, they're stretching. I mean, it's I guess MTV's a little desperate for cash, which I think the challenge is one of their better shows.
Yeah.
One of their only shows.
I think it's weird that you have so much product placement this season and so much of that. But it's not a typical challenge for the challenge. But I think TJ is trying to make competitive drone racing an X Games sport.
Yeah, good luck with that, TJ. So we're at the fake bar party. I love the fake dome. I love the fake because we're in the
air. The Fessy romance, or is that after the bar party?
That's in the bar party. Yeah. I got that in my notes, honey. Hold on.
Her handwritten notes.
Listen, look at you. Look at you. 2 pages tonight.
See, I have like my notes app like on my computer screen, like right next to the thing with like a little check mark if we've talked about it. Okay. But Allison's totally old school.
I had a 15-month in my lap. I'm all going right here.
Yeah, exactly. This is at the top of Allison's notes.
So it's always futile. So we get to what I call the fake bar party in this dome because we're in the era of COVID and you've got to be safe and whatnot. So what's more safe than giving everyone alcohol and getting drunk and talking this far from someone's face and spitting your alcohol into their mouth? So Nani thinks Nanny. I'm renamed, like Amber is now Ambler. We have Ambler B and Ambler M. Anyway, so Nani thinks Teresa will throw her in because she's beat her in eliminations before, and Jay's just walking around playing it safe, winking at everybody. Oh, you're safe, playing both sides. And Fessy is flirting with Gabby again. I think Gabby's adorable. Like I was living for the black turtleneck and the makeup and I almost braided my hair tonight, y'all, and put on my big hoops.
I mean, Fessy likes his blondes. You know, let's be real, right? Like he went from Haley to Tori, kind of ish. Nothing happened, of course, but like he was interested in her, and now he's moved on to what's her face, Gabby. So there's definitely a pattern I see here.
And his game's getting better, and I don't know how.
and you know what I want to talk about though is, and this doesn't have so much to do with the romance. I will say from the aspect of when she said his game's getting better, and she was talking about from the flirting standpoint. Fessy is a whole different player than when he was in Big Brother. Like he is getting better at these games.
This is what he was made for.
Yeah, the challenge, 100%. But even like the last time he did the challenge, his social game was learning. I mean, every time Fessy does one of these shows, I truly see growth in Fessy, and I am impressed. And even for that, I think Amber B's doing a great job.
Oh yeah. Listen. His shirts are shrinking, which I have zero issue with, because you can see the outline of the muscles on the arms. So when he's talking, I'm just like, you could say anything I'm a married woman, okay? It's fine. I can say these things. Just you can talk. Mm-hmm. I'm not listening to anything you're saying. I'm looking at other things, but
I agree with both of your points. Yes to that. But Andrew, no, I think that Fessy's game is certainly improving, and the challenge is a really good home for him. And like, how is this his like second or third challenge?
I think it's his second.
His second? All right, perfect. Yeah. I mean, like, look at how terrible Johnny Bananas was in his first few challenges, right? He was awful. And like, he's lucky he even got brought back because he was just so boring, was not a good competitor. And look at, like, this like juggernaut that is Johnny Bananas now. The rock.
Yeah, Adrian, I insisted that we wear black shirts.
I didn't get the memo.
Yeah, he didn't get the memo, and I'm wearing a necklace to pay homage to.
I love that every time I'm bringing up a point, Allison like looks to the chat. Like,
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just picking on you.
I'm with you, Tyler.
Saying, like, there is potential for Fessy to become like a great in the challenge. Yeah, I approve.
I'm sorry, Ty. Johnny Bananas was too into wearing headbands in his early days. Remember the headbands he used to wear, Andrew, and talking about. They hold that hair back and they see that caveman forehead. I mean, seriously, he was really into that back then. And he's gotten a lot bigger.
I can't say I don't miss Johnny Bananas a little bit, though.
I love Johnny Bananas. I love Wes is like my favorite. I just love Wes. I love last season that he and Johnny worked together a little bit. That whole montage was hilarious to me.
Oh, that was so good.
It was so good. So good. So the house deliberates, and Teresa and everybody is trying to get them to the house to vote Ashley. Ashley fights for her life. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and I also really appreciated that Ambler also fought for her life. Like when Ashley tried to pin it on her, she had a good rebuttal back. She said there's people who've been strong competitors who gas out in the finals, which is also true. But I just love, like, as a newbie, right? Like as collective newbies, they're really just like not taking any shit, not caring about seniority at all, and like playing the heck out of the game. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're on the challenge, okay? It's not like in the
challenge. Just go for it, right?
Just go for it. What the hell is it? It's ridiculous. These people think because they've been on the challenge, they're like some kind of competition gods. Have you ever seen American Ninja Warrior? I want to see you do that shit and then come back on this show.
I agree with what you're saying. And Amber M, yeah, good on her. I can't take her. My wife is an Are You the One fanatic, and their season was just, I can't take Amber M seriously. I just can't do it.
Well, I haven't seen that.
Is it bad?
Well, her season was, so they did Are You the One? I think the sixth. Her season was the one where everybody was into everybody. You had guys, and it was everybody was gender appreciative. I don't know, I might be messing up but everybody liked everybody, and so it was just a mess of a season.
Well,
it had nothing to do with that. It was just so confusing, and it was just. And Amber was, I mean, I think she slept with everyone in that house, and she's carrying that over to the challenge a little bit.
They call her Ambler for nothing.
So I can't take her seriously because of what I know of her from her season of Are You the One?
Well, she's taking a break from the horn around and is really playing a good game here, I think. It's kind of surprising to see a bunch of, and I would say the same thing about a man if he were doing it. So shush, stop it. I don't want to hear it. I like that the rookies, even if they are from Are You the One or whatever, they are standing up for themselves. They're standing their ground. They're not going to be bullied by these, professional challenge players, these seasoned vets. And so they do end up voting in Ashley and Corey. And Jay and Teresa go to Cam and they're like, listen, if it's not what do they call it? A
headbanger?
If it's like what is a headbanger?
I think they mean physical, like a pull the sick one, or a straight physical where you're just banging heads.
Mm-hmm. If it's blonde moment, sorry.
Or that's just a really good way to talk about oral sex. Like there's one or the other.
And they are giving away P3 vibrators. So there you go. So it's like a hall brawl, right? Thank you, Matt. So they're like, if it's a hall brawl or whatever, I'll do it.
Very physical.
But if not, I don't want to do it. And they're like, okay, well, they end up putting her in anyway. And TJ flips the script on us and leads us to believe it's a guy's elimination. And Ashley flips off everybody in a great and Ashley Mitchell moment, if any.
Millionaire Mitchell
at her best. And it turns out for the guys to watch the girls fight in the elimination, and they're putting rings on posts. And
I want to go back a little before we get to the elimination. There's two things I want to talk about that, and these are both questions for both of you. First, I was surprised that we didn't see, after it was revealed so much that the winner of the double agent gets to see these votes, how many thrown votes there still were.
Do they only get shown like the majority vote, right? Like who?
They only get shown who voted for that person.
Okay.
Well, I think you kind of figured out in process of elimination,
Yeah.
these people, but it's kind of like.
But there were not a massive amount of votes on them. It was still pretty spread out, and there were more people that did that. My follow-up question on this is, do you give credit to Teresa for the Ashley vote in, or was this something that people already wanted and Teresa just threw the name out there?
I mean, we see this on Big Brother all the time, right? Like somebody comes back and then they get eliminated right away. This is exactly what we saw here. It's easy to make this move and get somebody out. However, like I had in my notes, like maybe Teresa's best move here is to volunteer yourself in, get your skull, remain neutral, playing both sides between like the new girls and like the vets, make Nani like reassured that like I'm not going after you, right? Because like she was trying to throw her under the bus, and get your gold skull.
If I'm playing this game, I want to go into the elimination one of the first two, because I either want to be in the final or I want to go home early. I don't want all this middle ground crap.
Yeah,
right?
I don't want to make it so far and then never do it. I would have loved to have seen a Teresa Ashley.
I think Teresa would have won. Like Teresa's known for her legs.
She should have gone in.
I think she totally.
I would have looked like Tinkerbell trying to take a drunk Tinkerbell trying to take flight. My toes wouldn't even come off that platform. What the hell? I don't know how they did that. Every time I watch the show and I look back at my gym regimen, I think, man, I worked out today. And then I watch this show and I'm like, I didn't do shit. Anyway, it kills my mood.
But yeah, so that's to answer your question, Andrew. I think like maybe Teresa should have gone in, and like Ashley's rattled from like being eliminated, coming back. Like we saw how sloppy she was in this elimination, and CT pointed out. He said like I think she's just like her head's not in it because she got eliminated, and she's just like a frazzled mess. So capitalize on that.
You're right. She only got 9. People are throwing their votes. So,
and that's not smart to do when these votes are revealed and you're promising things to certain people.
See, that's what I'm saying. Is like I kind of like that they can see who voted for, the majority, but I liked it better in the beginning when they didn't know. It was now they do know. But they don't care. They're still doing what they want to do.
They're still playing scared, regardless of that. My last question before we get to the elimination itself. Do you agree with Jay and Teresa's decision to throw Cam and Corey in?
I'm like CT. Why are you shocked that people are lying? I think that I don't have a problem with them throwing Cam in. Teresa said, I got to get one of these 2 girls out. Neither one of them have my back. There's 3 girls that don't have my back. If I could get one of the 2 out, then I might as well, I think that it probably would have been wiser. My goal would be to get Cam out because she's such,
she's more connected.
Also look, she's only lost 1 elimination in all the years that she's played. And I would have kept her on my side and had her go against Nani or something. Ashley go against Nani or something,
And Tori said that Tori Marshall said in the chat that Nani and Josh would have been better. Tyler, what's your reaction? And then I'll give mine.
Ask me the question again.
Oh, for God's sake, rephrase it.
No, I want to make sure it's
was it smart for Teresa and Jay to send in Cam and Corey?
I mean, if Nani's like really trying to get Teresa out, I think the move should be to take out Nani, right? Like they have so much like bad blood between the 2 of them that like clearly is not going to be resolved anytime soon. And plus, like Allison said, like Cam is so well connected in this game. She's realistically probably going to return because she wins all these one-on-one competitions all the time. Why make an enemy? I mean, Jay was like really scared of that, and rightfully so, right? So I say put up Nani and Josh. Nani and Josh will probably go home, or Nani. Because I don't know. It's tough, right?
My thought process on it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the move from Teresa. I think it was dumb on Jay's part. I think Jay played this whole double agent round so bad.
I agree.
So bad.
He's just not very strategic.
I hate his hair. What do you think about his hair, Andrew? This comes up every week. I have to critique
You're asking the wrong person, Allison.
Well, would your goal be to keep Cam from getting a skull? If you can't beat her, keep her out of elimination.
I like that.
And I've never really, this is the 2nd season of the Skulls, but I've never somebody really shoot for that much. You see it talked about from the contestants, like I might run out of opportunities, but you never see that. That really hasn't been used as a strategy about, let's just not give them the opportunity to get a skull.
That's because I haven't played yet. I haven't played yet.
It would be so frustrating. And I think it would break the twist.
I think Allison just broke the format.
Look, let me play, man. I will F stuff up big time. It won't even do the challenge.
She gets thrown into a freaking
I'll tell you, drunk Tinkerbell. Listen, somebody said maybe you could have put Lolo into this competition. I would not want to fight Lolo in the final, but I also wouldn't put her and her damn legs in this competition. The girl leapt over Mount Everest in the first challenge.
I want to compete against Lolo in pressure cooker.
Do you really?
Mm.
Oh, she'd crack in 10 seconds.
Totally. 100%.
Now we can get back to the Tinkerbell challenge. That's just some little strategy questions I want.
No, I love it, and that's why we have you. I love it. The thing about it is, Teresa, nobody's really shocked. Jay, on the other hand, was winking, really playing both sides. You can't be everybody's buddy. And CT, who's been doing this for 20 years, is like, why is everyone shocked that they're lying to you? It's kind of like on Big Brother or Sequester or Survivor or all these other shows, oh, they lied to me. When? Boo freaking who? I care. That happens when you play this shit. You're going to get backstabbed, lied, shit on. You're going to leave the game. You're going to come back. You're going to let your emotions get the best of you, and you're going to be out again.
You know what I just realized with you saying that, Allison? Because The Inferno 2 is on Netflix right now.
Okay.
And I recently watched it.
What?
The Inferno 2.
Okay.
Super old challenge.
He's backtracking.
But, they took everything so personally with, any kind of, strategic decision. Like Allison just said for this season, I feel like we've gone, full circle. And we're back to, day one of reality TV with, strategitic things being taken way too personally. So it's interesting to see, that revolving door, right? Yeah, I agree with CT. It's a game, right? Everybody's especially with the format of this show, all the partners interchanging and stuff like that all the time. Somebody's gonna be upset every time. You don't like it?
You don't like that they can switch partners?
I don't like that. I'm okay with switching partners with you can pick the losing partner or you can keep your partner. I don't like that they can just grab anybody that wasn't vulnerable.
Well, look what it has done to Fussy.
Mm-hmm.
It has screwed him up mentally. Anyway, we'll get to next week's show. But yeah, so Cam wins.
All the guys are like, pick me, please.
And they want to, and Leroy's like, everybody wants my girl. I don't know.
Leroy,
I love Leroy. I just love Leroy. And I love Leroy and Cam together. I want that. I need that to work in my life. So I need that. I need him to get married and have children.
It's a perfect setup, right? For a Can to be like, listen, you need to get your gold skull now so that we can run the final together. That is so smart. I really like that. So I don't know. I'm rooting for them.
But I wouldn't have them run it together. I'd rather two shots at the money than one.
That's true, because they're gonna split it.
Right.
Because it's they're not going to split, but it'll benefit both of them.
It'll benefit both of them. So I'd rather two different teams have a shot at winning it. Because so many times on a final, you can run it perfectly, but just get screwed by a little twist or a little something or just one little thing go wrong. And you put both those and you get that. But, I mean, normally you have, 4 people run a final? 4 teams-ish, maybe 5. You got a 50 or you got a 20% chance instead of a 50 or a 40% chance. I wouldn't want to. If it was me and Courtney, I'd say let's split up.
Andrew, you're so smart.
Andrew is a genius.
Yes,
he's a genius when it comes to games.
No, but he asked the questions that I'm not as well versed on the challenge as I am Survivor and Big Brother. So I like these questions that are prompting me to think about what if this happens? What if that happens? It's a very complex game. And I like
the challenge since it was real world versus road rules.
Thank you. Andrew, trust me, I talk about the evolution of this show every week. He was shitting in his diaper when the first season was on. And I'm talking about Tyler.
I mean, I remember watching the Inferno 2 was my first season of the challenge I watched, and I was in middle school when that was.
Was Paula in that one?
Paula.
No, it was even before. I think it was right after Real World Philadelphia because it was Landon's first challenge.
I love
that. On a drunk tirade.
But speaking of the old school guys, the challenge OG spinoff is leaving to film in 2 days. And
wait, is that for real?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's really happening.
It's really happening.
Who can you say? Is there anyone you can say that you can remember?
Paula.
I need Paul and Bananas to have another argument.
What's her name? Oh my gosh. Light-skinned.
Coral?
Yes.
We need Coral. I need Coral.
Yeah.
Because Coral doesn't wrestle. She beats bitches up.
What do you guys define as old school?
Wait, is this for real?
Yes.
Yes. Andrew, it's for real.
Is it TV sponsored, or is it something they're doing separately?
It's a spin-off show, so it'll probably be similar to what's that one where they had like Lolo,
the celebrities?
The 6 weeks long. Yeah. I know.
Do we have a cast on this yet?
We have a rumored, like, pretty confirmed some of them. Like it's very it's like 5 girls and like a handful of guys. Like, and so like we don't know the full cast. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's very old school. The competitions are going to be like who can hula hoop and jump rope the longest, who can play the best game of solitaire. We don't want anyone throwing out a
drone challenge.
Okay, but here's my issue. This rumored cast I'm seeing. Like, and this is straight rumor, so it says speculation at the top. But like Anissa's in there, and I have an issue putting OG and New Game, right? Like, I don't want to see that.
So, who would you want to be on this season?
Coral for sure, Paula for sure. I mean, so what are we cutting? What are we saying is OG?
That's a good question. So for me, it's anything pre-Real World Austin. That to me is like where like old school cuts off and like mid school starts to happen. But I'm sure everybody has a different answer to that. But
this is an OG. This is an OG right here. She was born in 2003. She's 18 this year. And she's been watching The Challenge and Big Brother and all kinds of stuff with me.
Because I'd love to see Brad play again, but he kind of played recently. Yeah. I'd love to see Big Easy.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see some Big Easy.
I'd love to see Big Easy. I would love to see
Jimmy.
Who
doesn't want to see Jimmy Camilla? Oh, I don't think Camilla's coming.
I don't consider those two old school though. Like I want Beth back. That's who I want to see back on my screen. I want to see Tanya back. I know that's not happening for legal reasons, but I want to see Susie back. I want to see Landon back. I want to see Mark Long back. Mike the Miz. Like those people. That's who I want to see back. So,
well,
I'd love, and I'm gonna go sad here. I'd love to see Demi back. I know it can't happen, but like.
Yeah. Well, actually, today marks the 6-year anniversary for her last episode appearance. And that always
Svetlana. Somebody said Svetlana. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. There are rumors that MTV still calls Svetlana every season for the challenge.
I'd love me, and we keep. I'd love this to be an all women season because that's all we're naming right now is mainly women, right?
Hey, what about? Can we get Puck?
Yeah.
Puck played in one of the original. Did he not, Andrew?
He did. Can we just do, instead of the OG spinoff, can we just do the Bachelor with Big Easy as the Bachelor and all these women playing the season?
All these Southern, just the trashiest shit you can find.
I'm super excited. And you said Mark Long. I knew Mark Long was pushing for this project, so like he'll obviously be in it.
Rachel,
I did not know that it ever picked up traction.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Who else? I mean, Emily Schramm. Gosh, there's so many. There's so many. Like you pick the litter with like these old school cast members. Like they are just so good. Alton, I think somebody said on our show. Yep. Like, Rachel, absolutely.
Which Danny did y'all say?
Huh?
Which Danny?
Not Real World Austin Danny. He is like the biggest disappointment in the challenge history.
Danny Roberts.
I don't know. So we'll see who the I feel like we'll get a lot of clarity in the next day or two in terms of like when people start leaving on flights and stuff like that. Ruthie, we're getting lots of good comments in the chat. Sarah, of course, love Sarah. Timmy, who retired on the Inferno 3, but
if Sarah plays, Bananas has to come back.
Oh God!
How insulted would Bananas be to be considered an OG? He's like, I'm not an OG. I just played last year.
No, I don't want to see that reunion.
Well, but then you're setting this up to be a spinoff of, okay, let's do this. And then you're setting up for the OGs to come back for a real season of OG versus Fresh Meat, right? Like that's what's being set up here. Let's be real.
Yeah. What do you think, Lily? Who do you want to see? I want to see Mark Long and his big muscles.
Don't we all? Don't we all? He probably still looks pretty good. So speaking of, some speculated casts, Andrew, I don't know if you've heard, but tomorrow we're doing the Brand Steel My Weekly Meltdowns Heroes versus Villains. And I'm going to present to you the cast. And I want to hear from you who you think the winner of My Weekly Meltdowns Heroes versus Villains is. Ready?
Oh, Jesus. I think we all know who the winner is.
Oh, wait, we made some substitutions. This is the old picture.
I'm taking this in.
I love how Tyler looks like he is one of those people that has professional photos taken with their cat.
Well, I see two showmances. Or did you have a different picture, Tyler?
Due to some recent events on Twitter, we booted someone from the cast for another cat. So I'm gonna put up the proper picture here.
Wait a minute. I'm about to say.
Wait, go back to the other one again. So
we lost.
So you put Amber in there?
Joey Lawrence?
Because Allison refers to her as Ambler, and it was like a whole funny thing.
Okay, I just don't understand how this all-star cast has Ambler in it. Okay, so let me make some predictions real quick. I see two showmances. Tyler and Finley are done.
They're done already. Look at this.
And Allison and Baby Yoda, like that's happening.
It's already happened.
I'm digging the McCain. My winner pick would probably be.
What if Megan McCain and Russell Hands had a show?
That's what I just like. The Megan and McCain is getting me right now. Christmas breaks her leg week 1 and still wins.
Yeah, I could see
it to the final.
Yeah, there you go.
And she wins the final competition that requires you to stand on both legs.
Yep. See, with that, I'd like to speak to a manager smile that she has in this picture. I could totally see her being the ultimate villain here on Heroes versus Villains. So,
but I'm digging the Devon. I'm digging a CT Russell Hantz hookup, like not hookup, but like team up. Like,
yeah,
I'm all about that right now. But my final prediction, besides a Christmas Abbott win, is going to be Beth is going to be the first person voted out.
Oh no! Well, we shall see. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this shit show goes tomorrow.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So me, Allison, and Beth will be back for that tomorrow at 8 p.m. Join us in the chat. We're doing this. We originally said it was going to be Patreon only, but we decided we love the chat contributions so much to these stupid brain steals, that it's too good not to make public. So
listen. Before we go, I just want to thank Andrew for coming on the show. Andrew, you are on a show that's coming on ABC when? February 11th?
My episode, so the show is The Hustler. It is on ABC. It is at 10 Eastern Time, 9 Central. There have been 3 episodes so far. They are standalone shows with 5 different people playing the cast. It's a great show. If you haven't checked it out yet, watch it. It's fun. Allison's watched 2 of the 3 episodes, and she loves it. But my episode that I will actually be on is February the 11th.
Oh, that's so exciting.
February the 11th, and then he's going to come on and talk with us about
We're going to do a inside being on a game show episode, and
I would love to do that.
Yeah, I think it would be fun because it was a lot, and the process was a lot. I actually almost backed out the night before they confirmed me. And we can go into a lot of that. But the process was crazy. It was fun. Craig Ferguson's the host. And if you've never seen Craig Ferguson, he's so good. And he's great at this. And if you ever watch his Late Late Show, 2 episodes ago, he brought back the snake mug.
Oh, he's so good. He's so funny. If you ever watch his late night show, he's get right up in the camera and stuff. And for his monologue is great.
But check out The Hustler. The next episode will be tomorrow night. Like I said, if you've missed the first 3, it's standalone. The Rattlesnake Mug was great. It's standalone show, but it's fantastic. It's a great show. I'm excited for my episode. I filmed this a year ago, guys.
Yeah, it was like over. I was about to say it was over a year ago.
So I filmed it
Pre-corona.
the day after the Island of the Idols finale because I went to the Island of the Idols rap party. I flew into LA, went to my hotel. I met Kim Mattina at the rap party for Island of the Idols.
How was that rap party?
So
that was Dean. Dean was there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake.
Well, okay, so that rap party was different
Yoda.
because the official CBS rap party got canceled because of the sexual misconduct that had happened to that season. And so they didn't do a full rap party. So this was just a War Dog and a couple of other people put together their own separate rap party.
Okay.
I love War
Dog. This was a rap party that was, but it was amazing. I met Sandra. I've got tons of pictures. Rob was not there. He didn't go to the rap party, of course, because he had the kids and Amber in town. I've got pictures with all of them. I actually went up to, oh my gosh, the crazy girl. I just lost her name.
Nora.
I went up to her and said, on my weekly meltdown, you were my #1 draft pick. We have to take a picture together.
She's like, what the hell is my weekly meltdown?
I'd had a couple.
Yeah. Did you meet War Dog?
I did meet War Dog. I've got a picture because I think Kim knew War Dog at that point in time. And Kim was there. Rob Sesternino was there. I met Rob. And that was fun. It was a blast. It was incredible. Jamal, I met Jamal. I met all of them. Brett from Survivor, and then he was in Gen X, and then he was in Amazing Race. He was there.
Karishma? Was Karishma there?
Yes, and she was a Houston girl, so I talked to her and got a picture with her because she lives in the Woodland. She lives 10 minutes from me.
I hope Karishma comes back for another season. Very impressed with her on Sequester, but I just really enjoyed her character in Survivor, and I just feel like that whole season has like a dark gray cloud over it, and it's unfair to some of that cast who is a pretty good cast otherwise.
And I got to remember one more thing. Has anybody else heard any confirmation? I've heard rumors that Survivor will be filming in April.
That is the rumor. We'll see how things turn out, but I think it's possible. We'll see. I hope so. I really hope so.
So I've heard we might get a summer episode, but I've heard we probably will still be back to fall and spring.
I think it'll probably be fall and spring.
They'll film April and then they'll film again in the summer and get both of next year's episodes back, which is good because we've got Big Brother. I don't want Big Brother and Survivor at the same time.
No, and listen, I need some. It's getting down to I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel, people. I'm talking about covering 90 Day Fiance and WWE. I need something.
So with that being said, if you're a patron, especially, we want to hear what you guys think that we should cover. So if you want to give us your input, we are always welcome. Because like Allison said, we are scraping the bottom of the reality TV barrel here.
I want to make an announcement, though, about something. A movie that people need to watch.
Oh, boy.
Listen, don't even get me started. And Andrew, you're a patron, but this isn't going to be a patron show, but we're going to do something off this show for patrons after we do it. We're going to do our first movie review.
Oh, good God.
And February 4th. We are finding random movies to review. And this came about because my husband found a movie on Amazon Prime called Butt Boy. It's on Amazon Prime. It's about this guy who puts things in his butt. Now, listen, I haven't watched it yet. We're going to watch it, and then we're going to review it. So
reviewing Butt Boy?
Yes, go to Amazon Prime. Borrow the login from a friend, listen, or you can watch it. Give me a break. Everybody knows how to watch something for free. Not that I do that because that's illegal.
I'm just not watching Butt Boy.
Butt Boy. BUTT space BOY. Butt Boy.
Allison, another show you need to watch, and you need to watch this season specifically, Below Deck.
Why does that sound like a sequel to Butt Boy?
It's about a group of people that run a mega yacht during a charter season. And there is one, it's comedy and drama, but there's one season where one episode this season where a charter guest gets so drunk one night and she decides, even though the captain's sailing there and telling her no, she jumps into the open ocean at night.
What channel's this on? What
Bravo. So the captain gets mad, brings her in. The next day says, hey, the rest of your crew can stay, but you're going home. Sends her home on the little extra boat that goes. So as the boat's pulling away, she jumps in again.
Below deck.
Below deck.
Below deck. What? Is it just below deck or is it
sailing? They have a
sailing?
lot of spin-offs, but the original is below deck. They have a sailing edition. They have a Mediterranean edition.
I just added it to my DVR.
It's great. And past seasons are on CBS All Access. No. They're on Peacock.
You know, I just got Discovery Plus, and I'm obsessed.
I'm sure.
And guess what I did? I paid the extra money for no commercials.
Wait, can I get that login off air? Because my mom would really enjoy Discovery Plus.
We'll talk. We'll see.
We'll talk.
But listen, because
whoever goes, if you beat her in the Brant Steel tomorrow and go further than her, you can have the login.
Hey, listen, I'm still pissed off at CBS.
I can make that happen.
CBS All Access sent me an email saying they were updating stuff. And I'm like, oh, but you can't update my subscription because I have to delete everything and resubscribe to go without commercials. Instead, I'm paying $980,000 a month to have freaking 3-minute commercials. It's ridiculous. It's like rubbing it in. It's like you're pooping rubbing my nose and poop like I'm a dog.
Well, guys, it's great to be back, but it is getting to my bedtime.
Yeah, it's not. Look, I'm off the scales. Listen, please subscribe to my weekly Meltdown on YouTube. You get notifications when we go live, and you can participate in shows where we review movies called Butt Boy. And don't miss that. We're also going to be covering the first season of The Mandalorian in February. We're going to go over season 1, and then we're going to break down season 2. If you love Cobra Kai, War Dog from Survivor and I have covered season 1 and 2, and we're about to do season 3 coming up. So look, subscribe to the show. We got a lot of dead air right now, and we're trying to fill it up. We're doing the best. Yes, please become a patron. We're trying to get 25 patrons, so Tyler will dress up in drag as Megan McCain. I need this in my life. Please, Jesus, I need this.
All right. All right. Everybody stay safe, wear a mask, and we will see you for the Brand Steel tomorrow. Take care. Bye.